Welcome back to another episode of Rashley's Border Q. I'm Randy, and today it's about 35 degrees outside, a little chilly for South Texas. We hardly ever see temperatures below freezing and rarely in the 30s. Today we're going to be cooking kind of between roasting and smoking a turkey breast. I've got one of these Butterball whole turkey breast, white meat. Pretty sure it's all white meat. And we're going to smoke it at about 225 until the temperature gets up to 140 or so, 150 internal temperature. Then we're going to bump it up to 350 and finish it off and get it on up to about 165 internal temperature. We hope y'all will stay tuned. We'll be right back. Oh, hey everybody. Got the package open, got the turkey out, got my spices and everything set up here. Just gonna pat the turkey dry. And we're gonna rub it with a little extra virgin olive oil. And then we're gonna hit it with chupacabra spice, my favorite chupacabra rub. Then get it on the smoker. Let me bring y'all in here a little closer and I'll show you what I'm doing. We got the turkey breast patted dry. I just noticed this flap of skin. I'm going to go ahead and trim it off. Show you what we're doing here. It's just a flap of skin hanging. I'm not going to worry too much about crisping the skin. We're not going to eat the skin, so not important to crisp it. That's why I'm going to start it at a lower temperature. One of the tips I can give you is if you want crisp skin, start at a high temperature, because after the fat melts from under the skin and all, there's nothing left to help crisp it up. So start at a higher temperature if you want crispy skin, but we don't care about it. So we're going to start it at about 220, 225 and then bring it up to a higher temperature later in the cook. Going to rub it with extra virgin olive oil. Doesn't take a lot. All we want is enough to help the spices stick. I'm also not going to worry too much about cross-contamination, and I'll show you why in a second. I said we weren't going to worry about cross-contamination too much. You know, we'll be careful, but I've got these disinfecting wipes, and after I use each of my bottles, I like to just take them and wipe them down. This is the chupacabra regular blend. It's not the no MSG and it's not brisket magic. I've got a ton of this stuff and I love it. My favorite is the brisket magic though, but we're going to be using regular blend today. As I said, we're not going to eat the skin, but we are going to leave the skin on there during the cook for the purpose of trying to help keep the meat from drying out. Let me run my fingers up under the skin where we can get the spices up under the skin, and I'll be right back. I've loosened up the skin and formed a pocket, and we're going to hit the spices down into that pocket underneath the skin. Rub them around and shove them all up in that pocket we created. Let me get the other side, and then we'll come back, see if the grill's warmed up. We've got it warming up. We're going to do it on the Traeger, and we're going to be using Lumberjack Mesquite pellets. I've got the seasoning up under the skin on both sides. I sprinkled some on the outside of the skin. I put a little more down in the cavity here. And I got some up in the area where the neck came out. We're all seasoned up, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and wash up, disinfect all of the containers. That way I don't have to worry about it, don't forget about it, and then we're going to move on to the smoker. We'll be right back. Ooh, kind of chilly. Got the Traeger up to about 180, running between a 180 and 220. We're gonna go ahead and put the bird on, let her get a little smoke for an hour and a half, something like that. And then we'll raise the temperature up to 350 to finish it off. Yeah, it's gonna stand up on its own. I wasn't sure with the legs and thighs and all cut off, but there we go. We'll let it go for a while, come check on it later. I'll put the probes in it next time we come check on it. Let's get inside where it's warm. Whew, it's cold out here. All right, it's been about an hour and a half since we started the turkey. The internal temperature is only up to 103. It's been running about 160 to 200, depending on whether I've had the door open and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and ramp it up to 350, and the wife will be home in about an hour. Let's go ahead and start finishing this bird off. We just bumped it up to 350. It'll take it a while to warm up, and then that'll speed things along. We get this bird finished before the wife gets home for supper. All right, we shut the grill down. The turkey was up to 171 on one side and 175 on the other side. So the breast is completely done. We're ready to pull it off, wrap it in some foil, and let it sit till the wife gets home. She called, she's on the way. Timing's working out just right. By the time it rests, she'll be here. We can finish up supper and take a taste test, check it out, see how it is. Know it's gonna be awesome though, because I've cooked turkey breast with that chupacabra rub before, and it's the cat's meow. All right, let's pull it off, wrap it up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, the wife's home. We got the turkey ready. Got some sides on the stove, ready to go. Let's slice that turkey, take a look, take a test, and see what it looks like. Then I'll plate it up, and I'll give you all a shot of the final plating. I've got some gravy over here to go on the turkey. I'm gonna dump those drippings in that gravy, yeah. And then I'm gonna clean up the mess I just made. All right, let's get a slice off this and see what it's like. That looks so good, smells so good. Just for tasting purposes, we're going to try a piece that has the skin on it. The skin was bite through, but it's not crispy, which, as I told you in the beginning of the video, it's not our intention. Because when I plate it, we're not going to have the skin on it. That chupacabra just goes so good with turkey. Oh, I love it. I'm going to finish slicing it. Then we're going to plate up a plate, show you what we got, and my wife and I are going to chow down. Y'all come on back for the final plate. Wild rice with just a drizzle of gravy, sweet peas with butter, sweet corn, whole kernel, And the star of the show, turkey. Butterball whole turkey breast. They're kind of small. For just the two of us, it's plenty, with maybe just a little bit left over for our 4 puppy dogs, our fur babies. And it's delicious with that chupacabra rub on it. I put smoke on it for an hour and a half at about 200 degrees, wherever the pit was running at the time, 200, 220. After the internal temperature came up to around 110 degrees, more or less, I was shooting for a little higher, but that's fine. I mean, it's not critical. I turned the temperature up to 350. We finished it off at 350, so it was an hour and a half at 200-ish, and then it ran for about an hour or so at 350, and it finished off. We wrapped it in foil and let it rest while I finished up the other sides on the stove, and there you have it, a wonderful meal. Butterball whole turkey. If you've seen my previous videos, I was complaining about the Butterball turkey roasts that claim to be white meat, and if you read the fine print, it says includes dark meat. And then the turkey breast roast that includes dark meat. Well, I don't know how much dark meat's in a turkey breast, but this was all turkey breast. And I did find a Butterball roast that says all breast, all white meat, but it's boneless. This is not the roast, this is the whole breast. We hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go sit down with my wife and eat. We hope you come back and join us. Share, like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And we'll see y'all later on down the road on Rashley's Border Q. Adios.